It's really odd weather today. It's like the sun is shining, as you can see. But at the same time, there's like these huge, like really dark grey clouds. So, I don't know, it's like an odd combination of doom and gloom or doom and sunshine. But at the same time, it's really beautiful outside. Hi, Bandas, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Do you see? I hung up the jellyfish. Oh, I actually need to put in earrings, I just noticed. Because if I don't, my, like, earring, whatever, will close. So I'm gonna be back in a second. Oh, we're starting with a so. Alright. More bad news. Alright. Let's go then. What are the news? I think I might lower this one. I feel like the camera has like a hard time sort of. Oh. I might have more sick time because you're trans, but like how do they mean that? Because in itself that statement is wrong. Right? Like there's no, like, is there any indication of that? I'm like asking ChatGPT right now. No. That's just. I mean, it's just wrong. So I just don't understand. Oh, that's stupid. So now you have to look for a new job, right? Yeah, we can talk. I mean, hello.
Why?
Man, this sucks. Like,
Fair
or
enough.
woman that sucks. But that's like really annoying.
Yeah. So basically, like my sick days are pretty average,
Yeah.
right? The thing is that I basically like I told you that like my therapist and stuff, they dropped me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So after that, I basically went to work on Monday because
Yeah.
I like explicitly said, okay, I will do something on Monday. And I usually have to work at least 4 hours, and this time I only worked 3 hours. Because I told my boss, so the minor boss, not the big boss, the big boss was gone at the time, what's going on, that they dropped me and that I have to like kind of sort my shit.
Yeah.
And then I was gone for the rest of the week. Right? You have to remember, I have a contract that is in my contract, it is noted that I am being paid by the hour, right? I don't have a specific amount of hours I am required to work by contract.
Yeah.
Right? So I wasn't just like on, yeah, I just don't come even though I have to work and you have to pay me, right? I wasn't on sick leave, so they didn't have to pay me. I just said, okay, look, I have some shit going on. I need some time. And I would have taken holidays for it, a vacation for it, right?
Yeah.
If I had any vacation.
Yeah.
But I don't.
Well, I
I
mean,
effectively
the other
have.
thing is as well that it's like people are like I don't know why, but like well, I guess I do know why, but I think it's stupid. I know that in work environments, especially bosses really don't like if people take like spontaneous leave because they sort of like want to plan with your like workforce, which I do sort of understand, but at the same time, for example, with Zach's work, even though they like he has like a full contract and it's like it's not like a project which is like has to be like there's like a certain workload for the week. Like you can like sort of like easily switch it to next week.
Yeah,
Um
so it's
but like even with
similar.
him, they like really don't like if he's taking like sort of spontaneous leave.
Yeah, okay, I get that, but you can tell me that you have so flexible work times, right?
Yeah.
And then they aren't flexible at all, right? Either they are
Well,
flexible or they aren't. Um,
they do like to lie about that stuff because they want to be really flexible, but they just aren't. And they know it like it has a bad image to not be flexible in these contracts because they're supposed to be flexible, right? But
mhm.
like I just know that what bosses like say and what they like though is like different. Like they try to be flexible, but if they can choose between someone who's like always there on time and someone who isn't, they're gonna always choose the one who's like always there when they said they were there.
Mhm.
So it's not something they sort of say out of their own will, but more of like the market sort of like tells me to like needs me to say this, I guess. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's like really stupid to just like blame it on like because you're trans. Like if they like actually like said it this way, like you might have more sick time because you're trans. It's like
Like they didn't specifically said that, but like it was like they didn't straight up said you are trans, might have more sick time. They said yeah, basically like with your situation
mm-hmm,
you
has more
might be
sick
on longer
time.
leave, and then basically like the thing is she was like kind of like, yeah, we have to talk about giving you a contract, so it might be that I end up with another contract. I don't know.
Mm,
But my contract ends in like 1.5 months, so I basically have no time to waste. So I already asked for like a Zwischenzeugnis
yeah.
and stuff. And yeah, like 1 month ago, they basically said, yeah, they want to keep me no matter what, basically, because they claim that they are like very content with my work, with the work I'm doing.
Has anything changed since 1 month ago? Was there any?
Oh, they still claim to be content with the work I'm doing. They are just not too content that I was missing, because I effectively missed like 2 weeks. Because in the week where I was gone to get my shit together,
Yeah.
I had a handball match and broke a rib. And next week I went to work and had quite a lot of pain and was like, yeah, okay, look, that's not working out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take sick leave. So I was like, yeah, I was effectively 2 weeks gone. So I get that they are not happy with it, but like that's not something that happens like every second month or
Yeah, it
something,
was
right?
just
I
sort
mean,
of like an
it can of
unlucky
course happen
coincidence.
that I like go to handball again when it's all healed up and immediately break another rib or do something even worse, right?
Yeah.
But that's like basically saying, okay, someone got run over by car, was 4 weeks incapable
Yeah.
of working. There's a risk that might happen again. Let's rather not give him a contract, right? Like,
I mean, I'm gonna say like this is not like I heard stories like this. Like I don't know, like Zach got being talked to about having more sick days even though he had still little in a year where he had COVID.
yeah.
So it's like that I don't know, like I feel like they don't really care what like I don't know, like it doesn't need to be logic or anything. I think like they just don't like anyone being like gone for a certain amount of time to get like their work done. And I think it's maybe more something like from the bosses who don't really care about you individually, but who are more like get this work done and I don't care who's doing it, you know. But yeah, I would just say like, you know, like if they don't want to do it this way, maybe not that bad to switch jobs. You know, maybe
Yeah, I mean,
not your
the
place.
issue, like, if it would be the way that I could just like, I mean, I told them that I want to keep the job and stuff, right? Because I kind of need the job and it's like not a particularly bad job. Like I have quite a lot of planning freedom and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if I could switch the job for an equally, basically like let's just assume I'm doing the exact same thing, getting the exact same salary, everything's basically the exact same, then I would probably just switch jobs out of spite.
Yeah. I mean, it's not really just out of spite, right? But because this has like influenced your trust towards this working environment. Like you don't know when the next thing is gonna happen like this. Like if there's a chance to have like a more stable work environment and more stable sort of like working relationship with your bosses, that's like that's a really like obvious advantage over that place you work right now.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, the next contract would run over 1.5 years,
Mm.
and after that, it's like non-negotiable. The way it works with the ZDF is you get a 6 months contract, which is basically like I don't know, probation time or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is usually included in your standard contract. So even if you have like an unlimited contract, then you still have this 6 months periods where they can just fire you at will. Like in this case, they couldn't just fire me at will because I have the contract is timed to 6 months, right? So they can just throw me out earlier without paying me compensation. And they would give me another contract if they decide to keep me over 1.5 years, right? And after that, it's over. Like, that's not negotiable. You can apply for a full-time job there afterwards if they have like a place, and usually you need like your degree already, so that's basically off limits for me. So yeah, that's like basically it. So if I would get the new degree, I would have like a chill life basically, because like they are not like transphobic or something. And like I just think they don't see the issue with it here. Because generally speaking, they are comparatively open-minded, I guess. But like, I don't know, I don't know what their assumption is. Like, I mean, if I would have told them, like, oh yeah, and I will have my operation next year, right? Then I would understand that, because that would probably mean that I'm like knocked out for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Right. Then again, there's stuff like home office, which you could probably still do.
Do you think they might have? Because they said like in your situation, right?
Yeah, like
Do
that's
you think
something I
they're
have to
more
talk
worried
about with
maybe
them.
about your mental health situation?
I don't know. The thing is that like even if my mental health is shit, I'm going to work. Like
Yeah.
like my mental health isn't particularly good.
No, I mean, just
Generally
because of
speaking.
the like week where you said like you need to take off to like figure out some things. Because that's the week they made their sort of assumption on, I guess.
Yeah, well, I would see. The thing is just that like how do I say this? Like they have been doing some things even before I was gone that were like a bit that concerned me a bit. Like adding personnel to the things I was doing.
Okay.
Right. Which part of the concern was because like that was like the job that I preferred doing. Like I still have work. It's not that I just sit around and do nothing. But like they actively added people to tasks that I could easily do on my own, for some reason, which kind of feels like, yeah, okay, the plan is basically to kind of replace me.
Yeah.
Right, because it's basically yeah, I don't know. They said they want to train them on doing the job. Okay, I would understand that, but in this case, we could like increase the quantity of the so basically it's an AI that is going over all the frames of a news show, right? And is basically looking, okay, do I recognize a person, right? And that works more or less good. And what I'm doing is basically I'm rewatching the show. I'm rewatching the show and write down, okay, who was recognized, who should have been recognized and stuff like that, right? So I have like a bit of analysis to do that.
Yeah.
Usually comparatively simple. Then what I also did was basically when we had like the whole process for like I think August all packed up, I basically made the analysis for the overall result. And generally speaking, like Monday is usually like the bigger bunch of work because then you have the shows from Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That usually takes like 2 to 3 hours to make all of them. but every other day you only have one show to analyze,
Yeah.
and it takes like 1 hour max,
Yeah.
right? So that's literally something that I can easily do every day of the week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they added like I have 2 days this week where I'm supposed to do it. Funnily enough, like Friday is my free day usually. They added me to work there on Friday, every Friday this month.
Mm.
That's why I'm here right now. Oh well, no, never mind. It's past 12, so I would have been here even if I would have gone to work, but I wasn't at work today because I have to go tomorrow because they, for whatever reason, put me in on Friday.
Yeah.
And like I probably could have said like, yeah, okay, look, I wrote down in the plan that I'm not here on Friday, but I haven't planned anything particular
Mm.
for Friday morning, that is.
Yeah.
So I just like, okay, look, I'm basically not trying to cause trouble at the moment.
Mm. How do you feel about this whole situation? Just everything right now?
Pretty pissed. That's kind of a running theme if we talk, right?
Why specifically?
Mainly because they like they effectively said that they will give me a new contract no matter what, right? At the end of August, start of September, because I said like, hey, look, I can't really allow myself to have like this gap in my finances if I wouldn't if I wouldn't find a new job in time.
Mm.
And I would like to have the situation handled rather sooner than later, right?
Yeah.
Now it's 1.5 months later.
Mm.
The situation hasn't been handled, and they effectively told me, yeah, look, we said back then it's a formality, but now we kind of changed our minds. And if they would have said something like that back in the day, right, that they have to talk about it,
Yeah.
then I would have said right away, okay, I please want to have like a Zwischenzeugnis,
Yeah.
and would have started looking for jobs. And now like I effectively need the Zwischenzeugnis, otherwise I can probably like do a couple tricks here and there, with like basically writing down, okay, employed at the ZDF from from June to December 2025, and then they if they have like any issues with that, then I can still say, yeah, like if they ask, yeah, I'm currently employed, that's why I don't have like a recommendation.
Yeah.
And I already asked for such a Zwischenzeugnis, and that's currently in the process, right? But
Yeah.
it will take most likely will take like until November that I get that thing. And like there aren't that many jobs on the market.
Yeah.
Like especially not many jobs that would suit me well. Especially because I'm like in the second semester. Like I don't have study related qualifications.
Well, I mean, sometimes you can just like work at like a business who's like taking on like finished applicants of that study. Because they sort of like even if you don't have like official qualifications, like still know sort of like what they can expect from like a second semester, and probably have done it before, so know how you like how to integrate sort of like lower semester students as well in their business.
Mm.
If that's like a thing, like I don't know what you're studying, so.
BWL, I don't know what's that in English. What was it?
Okay.
Basically business studies, right?
Yeah.
I even think that that like my Hochschule,
Yeah.
so basically university, but not quite university. It's same degrees, right?
Yeah.
Like some people really make a difference, but the difference is more like Hochschule is usually more practical, right? And you have like smaller classes and stuff, and university you have like those big ass rooms with like 1,000 people on the first day, and then like half of them won't ever show up again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's like it is pretty hard for me to find a new job, and like my current job basically isn't doing me any particular favor with it because it's very specific, right? Usually, like jobs for students aren't, oh look, you have this this AI that you have to train and stuff,
Yeah.
right? And it's also like there are jobs for programmers, right? But I don't program anymore, and I don't want to. If I'm being honest, and I'm really bad at it. And even for that, the job at the ZDF wouldn't really help me much. So like the best thing I can get from the recommendation letter is that they somewhat tell that like, yeah, I did good with Excel or something like that.
Mm.
And that I like showed up on time and was reliable and stuff like that.
Mm.
But qualification wise, there isn't anything that really like adds to my
Resume.
resume. Yes.
Yeah. Is there like any chance that you like know anybody who's like working in a business who could get you like a like
Great. My
an
social life is like 99% Twitch. No, I
well
know some people, but like my my two best friends, like one works at the company where I used to work where I dropped out, so that's not an option.
mm.
And like they don't have like they closed our office in Mainz.
Mm. And the other one?
So that and the other one is working at a small IT company that is like I think half an hour drive from here.
Mm.
If you have a car, if you don't, it's like 1.5 to 2 hours by bus,
Mm-hmm. Okay, I see.
which would be better than nothing. But is heavily reliant on you having a driver's license because they like they are going to customers and do work there, right?
Mm.
So
Is there
they don't
anybody
want to
from your
hire me.
studies who's like already working in that field, or like a like that like anybody from university can help you to find a job in that field? Like at our university there was always like a sort of like businesses who were like halfway involved with like a certain study. So for example, the first business I worked at actually with like IT was they actually like finance like an entire room of their university and called it like their business. So it was low-key like one of those situations of like, hey, new students like come here. And that's sort of like how we got involved with them. And then I don't know, there were just like multiple students working there. And so like I, for example, like Zach was working there already, and then like he just like asked his boss if they like need another one, and then just I just had like a meetup with him.
Yeah, I
And
assume you were at the university, right?
well, no, actually, it was like a Hochschule.
So my Hochschule has like a lot of cooperation partners,
Yeah.
but they offer like dual studies. So you work and study as well with like a student's contract and everything around that. I'm currently in like full-time studies.
Yeah. I mean, that
Because
doesn't
like
necessarily mean that they don't take normal student contracts, right?
yeah, I just want to point out like the focus at my university is basically like these dual study contracts,
Yeah.
unless the full-time studies, but you have like a Werkstudenten job or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that. Like that's less the focus. So in addition to that, like I don't know anyone from my current semester. Because it just started last week. I am
Oh,
not
it
very
changes so
social.
much? For us, it actually sort of like low-key stayed the same. Like there were like a
Yeah, it
bunch of
stayed the
people
same,
dropping
but
out, but
I
like
I attend classes from the first semester, because I had to skip last semester. So last semester was my first semester. Currently, I'm in the second semester, and I still attend like classes from the first semester because I couldn't write them.
oh.
Right, I couldn't attend that the exam, which is like fine for me because in the other semester there were like a couple of minis. So I basically got rid of them this way. But that effectively means that I basically know no one. So I don't know what kind of jobs they had or have.
I mean, you can always just like ask professors if they have like any if they know any businesses where you could like apply or
yeah, I could try that, but
or sort of like also just like
the
what they would
professor.
maybe like suggest. Like you're in second semester, you don't have many like qualifications yet, and like how does this whole like application process like work? Like what's best to do? Like how to best build your resume, stuff like this. Like I think there's a lot of resources around you. You just need to ask, you know. Like people generally really want to help, and like especially if you go to like a professor, like some of them of course are just like bothered by the work and like they don't want to be bothered more. But there's others who like actually get like really excited if a student shows the sort of like initiative to actually like want to get better, want to like properly integrate in the field, want to like get like a proper job and stuff like this. And most professors are really connected in the field.
Yeah, potentially that could work. The thing is, the classes I attend are law. Because that's what's still open from last semester. So my prof is a lawyer.
Doesn't mean he doesn't have connections or knows how to like how to best get into a business with being in the second semester.
No,
Like
I mean, it's
I don't know,
probably
like
worth a
business
shot.
like honestly like studying business is like I don't really believe there's only like little jobs because it's such a widely used thing, you know? Like every lawyer firm is a business. Like every business of any like you can work at any business. Like even if they code, even like no matter the product, you can essentially work in any business. And I feel like there's like I feel like this field is like hard to sort of like grasp what positions can look like, because I think it's like a really high variety sort of like job field where like your job can look like really different from like business to business. But I feel like, you know, like if you need any support and if you're like on a time schedule sort of, like don't be afraid to like ask somebody who's like more integrated in the field, like especially if you don't have like much contacts on your own, you know? Like
Uh,
honestly, like getting jobs through physical like contacts of like people is usually like the easiest, and not only the easiest, but it's also the like those positions are usually like easiest to like find like good salary in as well. Because you are just like they're more sort of inclined to give you like a better salary because they feel like they know you better than like some random stranger who just applied. And
uh,
also like if you don't have like proper certificates yet, or like anything which like can build your resume, um the biggest difficulty is actually like getting that like talk at the beginning, right? Which you usually get once you like if you have like somebody who works there or like who has a contact there and it's like, hey, I would have like, do you need someone like I would know like a student who's like has been doing like really good in this and that, and he's looking for a job, and then you like instantly have that talk without having to go through this like resume check, and can sort of like explain yourself, which at least for me this was like the easiest way to get a job, like because my resume or whatever, like it looks like trash, honestly. Like I did so many different jobs, but the funny thing is that I usually like I don't really think there's any job I couldn't do. So it's like once I get that talk, I can usually
well,
just sort of like land the job.
yeah, well, I mean, the thing is that I usually struggle very hard in job interviews. Um, and like generally speaking, I probably can do like most jobs that don't require like you know, if it's like a simple job, relatively simple, like it can have some degree of knowledge that you require and stuff, and like I can learn. I don't have an issue with learning. Um, but as like if you need like an entire apprenticeship for it, right, then I might not be qualified, obviously. Um, but if it's like something that I can learn in like say 2 weeks, then I probably can make it, right?
I
Um,
mean, I think actually most jobs start like this. Because like even if you, for example, even if you're a programmer, like the
yeah.
specific project you work on is changing a lot on like how you do stuff and what you have to do specifically. So I don't think there's many jobs where you literally like are interviewed. It's your first day on the job and you know like exactly what to do and like
No, you,
how,
you don't know exactly what to
you
do,
know?
but let's just take the programmer example, for instance. Um, like of course it depends on how you learn it, which are the priorities of your company, what you're supposed to learn and stuff like that. So during my apprenticeship, I basically started with the standard web stuff, right? So HTML, CSS, stuff like that. Okay. Um,
Yeah.
and it took me like I think 1.5 months until I actually started programming with PHP.
Yeah.
Um, and then it took me a couple weeks until I had like the basics, right?
Yeah.
Um, and that's what I mean with like I can't do every job. Like assuming that I would get into programming again, I would have an easier time because I still know the basics. I haven't programmed in like I think 2 years now. So I wouldn't say that I can program. I can probably do some minor stuff, but I'm really not used to it anymore. And as I said, I really don't want to do it.
I mean, you don't have to.
Yeah, I just look for other jobs. That's
Yeah.
like right. One second.
I feel like it's like it sort of depends on what work you want to do, you know? Like you can either try to like find your new job through like finding new contacts and using those new contacts, or you can like apply for like multiple other jobs and like try to build your resume. Like there's a lot of different ways towards like the goal, and I think it just sort of like depends what ways are like best for you. But just know there's like many options. You know? Oh wait, I think like she actually had to go. No.
No, I'm still here.
Ah, okay.
I just had to sneeze. That's why I muted myself.
Ah, okay. I was like, no, I talked to Ghost Laura.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's just
It's just annoying and exhausting, I know.
yeah.
And it's unexpected, right? Like you try to prepare for it, like you talk to them, about like how you actually like you wanted like some sort of like clarification how things will go and how things will turn out, and now you're like still in this situation. Like the exact situation you try to like prepare against.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I guess there's like a couple things to learn from this to get everything in fucking writing. Because people change their opinions, even if they like, I don't even think they meant it like they were like lying when they told you like they're really content and they definitely gonna give you a new contract. But I think it's just like with a business, especially with like multiple bosses, right? There's what one person is saying is not really like sometimes just doesn't hold as much weight. And yeah, I just think it's really it's sucky, but that's why you need to get everything in writing nowadays. Like that's the same with, for example, like back then my apartment and when we like talked to our neighbors and we're like, oh yeah, so you don't need like to know 3 months prior when we like leave the apartment, and we didn't get it in writing, and then we still had to pay. So it's just like like the contract I had for my first job, I had it more than half a year before that job started. That's also the only reason why I actually still had it when COVID was going on. Because like COVID had started, and everybody of our students, because it was like one of those semesters where you need to get like a job for like half a semester. Not half a semester, for a semester, which is half a year. And everybody was struggling to get a job. Like most people actually couldn't find a job because people didn't take any students or any other applications, right? And especially in like programming, like taking like a new person on if they have to do like home office, oh my god, what a hassle. And especially like a student where you know like they don't really know shit yet. Like and I had my contract already before COVID had started, and that's why I still had a job. Like I was still able to go on with my semester like regularly.
Yeah.
And that was only because I literally was like they told us like, okay, like now would be like a time to like look for look for a job, because like if you only start looking like 1 month prior, it can be sort of like a hassle, because like all of you are looking for a job, right? So like there's only like a limited amount of positions sometimes, so it can take like a while to find something. And yeah, like that was the reason why I then ended up with a job. So I think your initial thought of like having this like lined out earlier and like getting the sort of like confirmation that you get a new contract and stuff like this, next time, you just push for the new contract directly. Or if they don't want to give that to you, then you also know like, okay, so there's like they still want to have the choice. So what they say, like that they for sure gonna give me a contract, is actually like not really the reality. Like they want to believe that maybe, but if they don't give me a contract, I'm gonna ask for the like this like resume
that's probably
whatever
the more
certificate,
reasonable thing
whatever.
to do.
What is extent Berlin, bro? I hope you have a bad day. Okay. I know who has a bad day, apparently. You could talk about it, Berlin, instead of just portraying the negativity on other people. Panas, what did you want to say?
I don't know. I don't know.
I feel like maybe we just sort of like need to stick with the feeling side of this topic for now, and just sort of like try to go in depth towards that. So there's been like sort of like a lot happening in the past weeks. A lot of bad news, a lot of inconvenient news. How do you regulate?
I don't know.
So how have you been sort of like holding up? Like, do you think it's getting like worse and worse and worse, or have you like done anything, or like were able to do anything which sort of like helps you to get back to normal, or to get back energy to work on those things?
Well, I mean, I basically like did my resume and stuff already, so yeah, I don't know. I usually just like kind of keep going,
Mm.
which might not be the healthy approach, but
Mm. I mean, keeping going is not really like unhealthy, right? Like, to keep going also means to just sort of try that like nothing else bad happens. That like not more things go to shit, right? Like it's sort of also like maintaining the things you do still have.
yeah, I mean that's basically a matter of priorities, I guess.
Mm. How do you think you could regulate or like do something for yourself to sort of get back to baseline?
I don't know.
Are there like any activities where you feel like you have more energy afterwards? Oh, I need to close the door. Give me a second.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Is the Roomba terrorizing your flat
Exactly.
again? Okay. I don't know. I'm going to play laser tag on Friday tomorrow.
And it's something you're excited about?
It's something I enjoy doing. Yes.
I mean, that's good.
I'm not particularly excited about because like I like basically the people like two of them which with me is like 50% of the group have already sent me the money because I'm supposed to book the event, and it's like laser tag is not super expensive, right? But it's comparatively expensive.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's basically like 25 euros for 2 hours, right? So I don't want to pay that in advance and then like be forced to run around, chase after people's money because they still owe me.
Yeah.
So I said, yeah, please send me the money until midday today. Like as I said, I have received 2 payments via PayPal. So I'm basically like, if I hang up on you, I would just write in the group chat here. So if you still haven't sent me the money, I give you until like, I don't know, this evening, and then I'm going to book for the people who have sent me it. And if the others want to join, they either have to try their luck at the counter and see if there's still place, if they still can acquire tickets or not, or have to book for themselves. But I like in most cases, if there are enough people, the laser tag hall will make like multiple groups.
Yeah.
Right, and they will get like a colored tag, and those groups rotate. So you don't play every match that is being played, but you basically play one and then you have to take a break and then you play the next one. So I told them, yeah, it's probably more favorable if we book as a group, because then like we can play as a group. In opposed to when everyone books for themselves, it could be that they assign us to different of those groups.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, probably some people just won't send the money, and then that's like, okay, look, I told you how it is. Like maybe they decided otherwise, even though I asked them to please give me like some kind of feedback if they don't want to play, because like if they don't want to play for whatever reason, that's fine, but like I have to know that. Yeah, well, that's annoying.
So it's stressful. Like you sound stressed if you talk about it. Like there's a lot of things to think about. People are not giving you proper feedback. You're supposed to sort of like manage that. And it's like this sort of also like weird question of like, now you like don't book for them if they don't send you the money, which is something you have to do because they might not come. But then like if they still do come, they might be like annoyed that they're not in the same group with you, even if everything like is technically like their responsibility. But there's like a lot of things you think about. Are you stressed about this? Like, is this sort of like stress about this dampening the anticipation joy sort of this event?
Honestly, I don't know. The thing is, I often don't really feel stressed until it's like too late. If you can relate.
I think I would correct that with saying you don't recognize the stress until it has
that's
big of
what I mean. Like it's
it's hard to notice, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense, right? Like for autistic people, that's like a classic thing.
Yeah.
Do you still think like your body is in stress? Like before you notice?
I mean, I think objectively speaking, one could assume that I'm stressed, but like I don't have like when you're seriously stressed, then you will develop like symptoms like I don't know, you have like cramps or something, or like your muscles are getting like not serious cramps, but like they get
Tense.
like tense. They tense up and stuff like that, or you have like headaches or something like that, or are more nervous, and things like that, and like I get them when I have like an autistic burnout,
Mm.
right? But that's like the point, where like neurotypical people probably can like spot it earlier,
Yeah.
and kind of prevent running into a burnout, right?
Yeah.
And I mean that's basically why autistic burnout is a thing, right?
Yeah.
Because we kind of struggle with spotting it, and
Yeah.
it's more prevalent because of that, and it has other reasons as well compared to neurotypical persons. But I don't get these symptoms like right away, you know. Like I actually right now currently I sleep better compared to when I wasn't objectively as stressed as I'm currently am.
What do you mean by
Right, which is like,
objectively?
well, as I said, I can't really tell you if I'm more stressed right now compared to when I started with the job.
So it's more like when society would, like how society
Expect
would
me to be
judge your
stressed.
situation, sort of.
Yeah, if someone who is like observing my situation from outside would like evaluate my potential stress level
Yeah.
based on not what I say, or how I act, but rather like, because it can be that I'm stressed and I act stressed, which kind of like, I mean, you basically assumed that I might be stressed based on what I said. So that's probably a big option. What I mean is like someone who doesn't talk to me and just like reads over what kind of happened over the last weeks would assume.
Mm.
That's what I mean with objectively stressed. Yeah, I don't know.
Do you want to sort of like change anything about that? Or change anything about the current way you're feeling? And like rather like to be in a different state? So for example, for me, I really I have sort of like a state of mind where I feel really like zen, if that makes sense. And I don't know, I really like that state. Because it's I can't really describe how, but like it feels to me, these different states really feel like sort of like I feel low-key like a different person, if that makes sense. Like it's as I don't know, it's sort of like I'm like if you draw like a picture, but you color it with different colors. Like it's technically the same thing, but it looks very different. And that's sort of like I guess how I would describe these different states I have. So I have one state which is, for example, this like I call it the working state. It's usually sort of combined with neglecting my body more and not necessarily wanting to, but I just have like less connection to my feelings because I'm like really focused. Like I'm really focused, I'm really concentrating. It's one of those states where I'm like hyper focusing on something. I'm usually stressed because it's usually happening when there's sort of like a time limit or something on there, or like a resource limit. Like it's one of those.
やばい、やばいぞこれ。ああ、もうこの味、俺好みなんてもんじゃない。これはもう俺のために作られた料理。それをあんなセックスをする男がこんな料理を作るなんて。約1ヶ月前。ちょっとオーナー、包丁なんて持ち出して危ないですよ。しまってください。
私を騙してたんだな、諏訪君。媚びを売るような真似をしてデートだってしたじゃないか。
諏訪美澄、32歳の春。とてつもなくピンチでした。媚びって何ですか？そんなの売ってません。それにデートって店の器を見に行こうって言うから行っただけだし、食事だって断ったら悪いし。
ミスミもうまたトラブル？高校時代からちっとも変わらないわね。
ごめんマリエちゃん、しばらく置いてください。
それはいいけど大丈夫？怪我はなかったの？
すごい勢いで突っ込んできたんだけど、そのまま派手にすっ転んで頭打って悶絶してたんで、その隙に逃げてきた。
でもオーナー相手じゃ家も知られてるでしょ。
だからさすがに引っ越し考えてる。
ミスミ、言いたくないけどこれまでのトラブル大体がミスミの八方美人が原因なんだからね。
はい。
気がないなら誘われても断る。食事や買い物も下心を感じたら断る。
でも断るのは悪い。
ねえミスミ、好きな人作らないの？
作らないよ。気が向いた時に気の合った相手とするくらいが楽でいいよ。早めに出ていけるように頑張るからよろしくお願いします。
そんなのいいからちゃんと納得できるとこを探してね。
ありがとう。とは言ったものの、
ちょっとこんなとこで辛気臭いため息つかないでみーちゃん。
だって突然の食なし家なし辛気臭くもなるって。
そりゃそうだろうけど、あんた利き酒師の資格持ってるでしょ。それって仕事探すのに有利なんじゃないの？
とりあえず知ってる店3軒回ってダメだった。このご時世簡単に一人増やせるお店はそうないよね。このお店で雇ってくれる？
ごめん、余裕ないわ。
でしょ？今日人いないね。誰か知ってるやついればと思ったんだけど。
なーに？男あさりに来たのね。
だってこんな時の発散方法なんてあれしかないじゃん。ねえ、隅のテーブル席の人ずっといるけど誰か待ってるの？
あれのんけよ。やめときなさい。知らずに入ってきたみたいなんだけど飲めりゃいいって言うし、あんたの言うように客も少ないから入れてあげたのよ。
でもそれでもいるなら芸に抵抗はないんだよね。
あんたね、それとこれとは話が違うでしょ。
ねえ、だって今日はそのつもりで来たんだよ。顔も好みっぽい。彼何飲んでんの？教えて。
もうこの酔っ払いが。ほらこれね、全部日本酒だわ。
お、専門分野。割とがっつりめ。いいね、芳醇濃厚。それなら どうぞ。俺おすすめの日本酒。おっと、マジでドストライク。木本作り好きでしょ？
ああ。なんでわかった？
飲んでるの見たら大体ね。俺利き酒師なんだ。
へえ、見かけによらないな。
見えない？
ああ、綺麗な顔してるから芸能人か何かかと。
へえ、あなたから見て俺って綺麗な部類？
ああ、十分。
本当？嬉しいな。ねえ、ここどういう店か知ってるんでしょ？酒飲むだけ？キスはクリア。もしかして本当は男としたことあるんじゃないの？
ない。女ともご無沙汰なくらいだしな。酔ってるし、そんな気分なんだろ。
偶然。俺もめちゃくちゃにしてもらおうと思ってた。でも変更。舐めていい？
うまいのか？
それは自分で確かめて。でかっ。通常時でこれか。すっごい勘立ち。後ろ洗ってあるしすぐ入れられるけど。
入るところが見たい。
スケベ。男にはまっちゃったらごめんな。後ろ向くから入れて。見える。ちくダメ。そこ弱い。すご奥まで届きそう。響く。そうや。ダメ。そんな。なんかさっき当ててたとこ。そんな激しい。いきそう。ダメ。もっと中。すっごかった。勢い衰えること知らず3回、衰えず3回。うわあん んな澄ました顔して何あれ。うわー、本当に初めてなのかよ。変な扉開くかと思った。よく寝てる。あまり顔に出てなかったけど結構酔ってたのかな。なんとなく少しだけ、ほんのちょっと名残惜しい気はするけど、相手はのんけだし一晩限りってことで。ごちそうさまでした。
ミスミ。
え、お？
ご飯ボロボロこぼしてるってば。ほらティッシュ。
あ、ごめん。
ウキウキ朝帰りの1週間前からそんな調子ね。適当に相手見つけるのはいただけないけど、そんなに嬉しそうな顔されたらね、見てるこっちが恥ずかしいわ。
してないよそんな顔。こんなに引きずるなんて。ふと気づくとあの夜のことを考えてしまっている。だってあんな
ねえ、その人のことを好きになっちゃった？
ならないよ。向こうはのんけだし。
でもセックスできるならのんけとは言わないんじゃないの？
いや、酔った勢いは脳幹。
マジか。でもさ、
恋はしない。中学時代一番の親友に恋をした俺に、友達なら隠し事なんてするなと彼は怒った。なのに気持ち悪い。正直に全てをさらけ出した自分に返ってきた言葉。自分を全拒否された記憶は恐怖となって俺の中に根付き、人と深く付き合うことを躊躇させた。踏み込んで嫌われたくないから、ほどほどの関係を築くうち、その楽さに慣れてしまった。恋はしない。5軒目もダメだった。職探しつら。当面大丈夫とはいえ、はよ仕事だけでも見つけねば。夕飯どうしよう。節約した方がいいかな。渋い佇まい。のれんと人目につかなそうな奥まった入り口。いい店の予感。何の店だろう。メニューも出てない。ライトついてるしやってるよな。店名、まず店名どこ？こんな通路側の壁の足元に控えめにも程が。蕎麦友禅縦の。蕎麦屋。この敷居の高さ、これ絶対当たりだと俺のうまいものレーダーが告げている。そしてうまい蕎麦屋にはいい日本酒といい魚がつきもの。こんばんは。
お？いない顔だね。予約はしてるかい？兄ちゃん？
いえ、予約はしてないんですけど。
おや、そうかい。ここは夜の予約のみでやってるんだよ。
じゃあ。
おーい、せいちゃん！
はい。
お客さんだよ。飛び込みだってさ。一人分くらいなんとかなるだろ。
ええ。
あの夜の。嘘だろ、こんな偶然ある？どうしよう。
どうぞ。コースでいいですか？
あれ？もしかして覚えてない？
兄ちゃんよかったね。週末なら無理だったよ。
ええ、ありがとうございました。
何かアレルギーは？
あ、ないです。何でも大丈夫。あれを覚えていないとは。やっぱり相当酔ってたんだ。なんとなくほっとしたような、残念なような。
お飲み物はどうしますか？
あ、メジャー系と通好みな地酒でバランスよく揃えてるな。悪くはないけど。じゃあ、8本やりで。
はい。
ホタルイカがもっちり滑らか。カキも味が濃すぎず旨味が生きてる。そばつゆの返しでつけたモッツァレラはこの後のそばのうまさを期待させるし、これはもうこの味俺好みなんてもんじゃない。これはもう俺のための料理っていうか、あんなセックスをする男がこんな料理を作るなんて。どうして夜しかやらないんですか？
前は昼もやってたんだよ。でも聖ちゃんが頑固でね、人雇っても気に入らないとすぐ追い出して、結局手が回らなくなっちまうんだ。
キヨさん、喋りすぎ。
じゃあ募集はしてるんですか？
まあ、してないことはないですが。
俺雇ってもらえませんか？
は？
今職探し中なんですけど、なかなか見つからなくて。10年は飲食店に勤めてます。居酒屋とか日本酒バーとか。履歴書あるので。それに。
ああ、そういや、利き酒師って言ってたもんな。
はい、なので。
おお、兄ちゃん利き酒師なのかい。なんで聖ちゃんがそんなこと知ってるんだい？
ああ、いや、ちょっと彼とは10日ほど前に。
なんだ、知り合いかい。
覚えて。
ああ、10日前のことくらい覚えてる。
だって普通の顔してるから酔ってたし覚えてないのかと。
店に出て動揺なんかしない。それに朝何も言わずにいなくなったのはそっちだろ。だからあの夜限りのことにしたいのかと。
なんだい二人はそういう仲なのかい。聖ちゃん男もいけたのか。
らしいね。
おお、しかし利き酒師とは願ったりじゃないか。なあ聖ちゃん。
またキヨさんは勝手に話進めようとする。
いいの？
どうだい、利き酒師さんから見てこのお店は。
正直に言ってみてくれ。
じゃあ酒の揃えで気になったところ、銘柄はどれも玄人好みで店の雰囲気にも合ってると思います。でもセイさんの好みからか少し辛口に偏りすぎてるかなと。
バランスは考えて入れてるつもりだが。
それでも初心者にはちょっと。飲み慣れてる辛口好きの方でも出してみると案外厚みのある芳醇うま口を気に入ることも多いですよ。
おお、なるほど、説得力あるね。どうだい聖ちゃん。
名前は？
ミスミです。諏訪ミスミ。
どう書くんだ？
ああ、水が澄み渡るでミスミ。
へえ、ミスミ。綺麗な名前だな。
なんだ急に名前。真顔で何言ってんのこの人は。
本当に仕事探してるのか？
はい、仕事もですけど俺もういっぺんで好きになっちゃって。料理のことですよ。料理すごいうまい。
なんで片言は。分かった。いつから来れる？
やった
聖ちゃん、こんなに好きと言ってもらえたら嬉しくなるだろ。
そうだね。
その人のことを好きになっちゃった？
ならない。
はあ？なんでお前がキレてんだ？
あれ、すみません。明日からでも来れますんで。
そうか。ところで次のそばがき出していいか？
そばがき大好き。
そうかそうか。
食ゲット。 そうですね。コースの最初のお酒でしたら、こちらはいかがでしょう。すっきりした軽い口当たりで、食前酒として最適ですよ。
へえ。じゃあ、それを。はい。
すっごい綺麗な人じゃない？
そろそろ10日ほど経つかな、ミスミちゃんは。よくやってくれてるじゃないか。なあ、せいちゃん。
まあ、そうですね。
俺、諏訪ミスミは、どうにかこの蕎麦屋、立野で雇ってもらえそうである。お試し期間中だけど。この店の店主である立野川生徒は、ゲイバーで俺がナンパして知り合った。のんけのくせに、ゲイバーなんぞにいた彼を軽率にナンパし、名前も連絡先も交わさず、それきりだと思ってたのに。
はい、点抜きね。
ありがとう。
仕事探し中、店構えが気になって入ったこの蕎麦屋の店主だったという。こんな漫画みたいな偶然。
よう、スイちゃん。予約してないけど、いいかい？こんばんは、スカさん。どうぞ。
おや、珍しいね。3日と空けずに来るなんて。
そうかい？うまいそば食いたくなるとここだからね。
どうぞ。いらっしゃいませ、塚本さん。
おお、一度会っただけなのにもう名前覚えてくれたのかい？
もちろんですよ。塚本さん、お酒の選び方にこだわりあったからすぐ覚えちゃいました。
お、そうかい？それほどでもねえよ。
スカさんもミスミちゃんのこと気に入ったようだね。いやいや、ミスミちゃん慣れたもんだね。さすがプロの利き酒師さんだけあって酒の進め方もうまいし。
そんな、俺なんてまだまだですよ。
初めて店に来た日と違ってずいぶん余裕だな。俺に告白かますほど焦ってたのに。
告白？好きって言ったのは料理のことだろ。
まあまあ、せいちゃん、かっこつけたい年頃なんだろ。
年頃って、俺30過ぎてるのに。
俺たちの前までカッコつけることないだろ。
前だからだろ。
なんか言った？
いいえ、なんでもありませんよ。
そば少し残ってるが食べるか？
食べる。ただいま。あれ、アキラ。
よう、久しぶりだな、ミスミ。
おかえり。
福岡の転勤から戻ってきたのか？
いや、それは来月に決まったんだ。その前にちょっと時間できたから帰ってきた。
もう、全然連絡しないんだから。昔からほんとそう。大事なこと言わないの。
高校時代から変わらないよね、アキラのそういうとこ。それが理由で喧嘩ばっかしてたもんな、二人とも。でも、アキラが帰ってくるなら、ついに結婚か。決めてたもんな。別れたりくっついたりしてきた二人が。
あ、やだもう。なんでミスミが泣くのよ。うちら、すっごい迷惑かけたけど、ごめんね。
特にマリエがな。
そっか。じゃあ俺も、それまでには出ていけるようにしないとな。
なんで？いいよ別に。聞いたぞ。災難だったな。今回はオーナーに刺されかけたって？
私もアキラも構わないんだから、今のお店にちゃんと雇ってもらえるようになってからでいいじゃない。
そんなわけいかないだろう。新婚家庭に居候って。
今さらそんな気を使われるような話じゃないわよ。
そういや、今までの荷物ってどうしてるんだ？ベッドとか。
ああ、前の家に置いてるよ。でも、次の家賃払う前には引き上げたいなって。
ああ、包丁持ち出してきた相手に住所知られてちゃな。で、今の店には雇ってもらえそうなのか？
感触は悪くないんだけど。
けど
なんかさ、週末はいいんだけど、平日がお客入らないんだよね。あんなにうまいのに。今のままだと俺、週の半分は給料泥棒。
そんなにうまいんだ。行ってみたい。
もう、すっげーうまい。もう少しの間客として通えばよかった。
なあ、三角がそこまで言うなんて珍しいな。それでなんで客が入らないんだ？
ちょっと商店街から外れた場所にあってさ。でも一番のネックは営業が夜だけ、基本予約のみってことかな。昼も開けられればな。それで一度でもメディア露出すれば一発だと思うんだよ。あんないい男なんだし。
いい男なんだ。
やっぱマリエちゃんには言ってないんだった。今働いてる店の店主が例の最高のセックスの相手だったということを。見ようによっては。
は？何それ？あ、友達に情報誌作ってる子いるよ。話してみよっか。まあ、興味持ってくれるかはわからないけど、話すだけ。
そうだね。話すだけお願いしよっかな。部屋探しか。はあ。ほんとここでこのまま雇ってくれるなら、エリア決めて探せるんだよな。
おや、みすみちゃんだけかい。
あ、キヨさん、こんにちは。
はい、こんにちは。
セイさんは買い出しに行ってて、このキヨさんはどうやら、ただの常連さんというわけでもないらしく、営業時間外でもこうしてひょいと現れては、たわいもない話をして帰ってく。
これ、あんみつね。冷蔵庫を入れといてくれるかい。
お、ありがとうございます。セイさん、そろそろ帰ってくると思いますよ。買い出しくらい俺が行くって言ってるんですけど、信用されてないのかな。
まあまあ、せいちゃんは自分の目で確かめて買いたいだけだからさ、許してやってよ。
すみません。ですよね。せいさんすごくこだわりありますもんね。そういえば、せいさん、このまま俺のこと雇ってくれる気あるんですかね。あるならこの辺の不動産屋回るんだけどな。
なんだい、住むとこ探してんのかい？
そうなんです。今ちょっと訳あって友達のところに居候してるんですけど、結婚決まってて、来月から相手と同居を始めるので、それまでには。
あれまあ、そりゃ大変だね。ああ、いすみちゃん、それならせいちゃんのところに住まわせてもらったらどうだい？
は？ただいま。キヨさん来てたのか。また何の話？
おう、あんみつ持ってきたよ。
ありがとう。
あ、山菜だ。まだこんな立派なフキノトウ買えるんだ。これ何？どうやって食べるの？
花わさびだ。返しでつける。
へえ、醤油でなく返しで。山菜に合う日本酒選ばなきゃ。
で、何の話だって？
みすみちゃんが部屋探してるんだとさ。赤ちゃん出てって部屋余ってんだから、住まわせてやったらどうだい？
赤ちゃん？
そうなのか。
いや、だからこの辺で探すっていう話を。
ここはね、もともと俺の持ちビルなんだよ。それをせいちゃんに貸してんの。
え、そうなんですか？
そうそう。上が住居になってんだ。ま、部屋見つかるまでのつなぎでもいいし、新婚さんの部屋にいるよりはいいんじゃないのかい？
いやでも、せいさんが困るでしょう。
別に俺は構わないぞ。店終わったら、部屋、見てみるか。
なんでこんなことに。
古い建物だから結構傷んでるが、それなりに自分たちでリフォームしたんだ。
自分たち？
雑居ビルだから広さはあるんだよな。
若ちゃんって誰？
ああ、別れた嫁。トイレこっちな。こっち、洗面と風呂。そんで。
嫁？結婚してた？
ああ、2年。 3年間くらいか。それで3年前に離婚した。何してんだ。上がれよ。
へえ。お邪魔します。36って言ってたから、結婚30くらい。結婚してた。そっか。
今度合鍵作って渡すから、好きな時に荷物運んでくれ。
ありがとう。家賃なんだけど、キヨさんはいらないって言ってくれてたけど、そんなわけには。
キヨさんがいいって言ってんだからいい。俺も最初は店の家賃しか受け取ってもらえなかったしな。キヨさんが受け取らないのに俺がもらっても仕方ないだろ。
じゃあ生活費はその辺はちゃんと。
めんどくさいな。
こ
っちもお試しみたいなもんだろ。本格的に住むことになってからでいい。
そんな一銭も払わないとか。もうあとは体で返すとか、そんな話？
それでもいいぞ。体で。
いや、ないでしょ。あんたのんけでしょ。
まあ男を好きになったことはないが、お前とはセックスして。
ああ、それはいい。だから脳幹だって、あれは酒の勢いでしょ。
はあ？互いに覚えてるじゃねえか。なのに脳幹っておかしくないか。ま、嫌ならいいが、俺は良かったからまたしてみたい。
はあ、よかった。またしてみたい。向こうから言ってくるとか想定外。またする？この人とあんなセックスをまた。
どうしたんだそれ。
一応お世話になるならと思って急いで手土産買いに行った。商店街の手前の酒屋さん。
ああ、酒入り酒店か。
ケーキ漬けに飲んどく。常温でうまいやつだから。
なんだそりゃ。
ああ、くそ。いちいち好みの顔しやがって。ねえ、なんであの日俺の誘いに乗ったの？男としたことなかったくせに。
酔ってたのもあるが、ちょっとむしゃくしゃしてたんだあの日は。でもなんていうか、お前とはできそうだと思ったんだよ。
お風呂借りる。準備してくるから飲んで待ってて。上顎なめ。
そういや胸弱いって言ってたな。
よく覚えてる。
ああ、割とちゃんとな。立ったな乳首。
ダメ。もうそれ以上すると。
乳首でいけるのか。すごいな。そんな風になるのか。ここで。ちょっと言ったんじゃないか。鳴らしてあるんだろう。ここだろ。
もっと足して。なんか、もっと。
ああ。
なんか気持ちいい。あ、ダメ。早く。ねえ、また舐めていい？
それ好きなんだな。
好き。これで口の中こすられると気もすごい。早く入れてほしい。
どう入れられるのが好きなんだ。
そこ好き。
これがいいなんて案外普通だな。
バックのが楽だしいいんだけど、相手の気持ちよさそうな顔見るの好き。
確かに中すげえ気持ちいい。と反応いいな。
うるさい。いや、またやってしまった。どうしてタガが外れたみたいになっちゃうんだ。相手はのんけだって分かってるのに、のんけなのに。あんなの何度もしちゃったら。
すみません。
はい、何でしょう。やば、仕事中。
おすすめの日本酒教えてください。
はい。普段どんなものをお好みですか？甘めがいいとか、ガツンとくるのがいいとか。
すっきりした飲み口で香りが華やかなものが好きかな。甘めも好きだけどベタつくのは嫌。
なるほど。あ、こちらのダイナはいかがでしょう。甘めのお酒が出来上がる米を使ってるんですが、辛口ばかり作ってる酒造が使うとやっぱり辛口のものが出来上がるっていう。
へえ、何それ面白い。それにします。
すぐお持ちしますね。そばがきうまっ。
ごめんなさい。ついこんなに美味しいそばがき初めてで、口当たりが良くてすごく空気を含んでる感じ。
ありがとうございます。
最後まで居座っちゃってごめんなさい。とても美味しかったです。また来ますね。
ありがとうございます。お待ちしてます。おやすみなさい。さてと。せいさん、ちょっと確認したいんだけど。
なんだ？
せいさんはさ、のんけだよね。
やたらとそこにこだわるんだな。昨日も言ったが、男を好きになったことはないが、セックスできるのはお前が一番知ってるだろ。
だって困るんだよ、のんけは。
なんだって？
なんでもない。とにかくもうああいうのはしない方がいいんじゃないかな。
まあお前が嫌なら無理やりするわけにはいかないが。
何？
いや、どこをどう思い出しても嫌がってるようには見えなかったから。
思い出すな！
いやだってあんなに嬉しそうに舐められたのは初めて。
とにかくもうしないから！
そうか。絶対にか？
え？
絶対に。
絶対。しばらくは？
わかった。
あれ？取材？
この前言ったでしょ？情報誌作ってる友達いるって。話したら実際にお店に行ったみたいよ。
そうなんだ。どんな人？
前下がりの長めのボブで細身の女性。わかる？こんなに美味しいそばがき初めてで。
あの人。
すごく気に入ってたわよ。
本当？嬉しいな。じゃあ改めてその人紹介してもらって俺も一緒に話そうか。
そうね、その方がいいかもね。
やった。これでお客さん増えるかも。
断る。
でもせいさん、いい宣伝になるよ。
別にそこまで客を増やしたいとは思ってない。人手不足になるのは目に見えてるからな。
立野川さん、失礼ですが先日私が伺った日もキャパシティが十分終わりのようでしたし、お席を遊ばせておくのはもったいないと思います。
そうだよせいさん。
あら、そういえば立野川って。
せいさん。
とにかく断る。必要ない。
まかないなのに豪華だ。卵も鶏肉ももちろんだけど親子丼の肝はお出汁だと思う。だから蕎麦屋の親子丼好きなんだ。
お前本当に食べるの好きなんだな。
もちろんそれもあるけどせいさんのご飯がうまい。だから取材受けようよ。
またそれか。お前も諦め悪いな。
だってこの席数だから土日は逆に断ることもあるけど、だからこそ平日に席が埋まらないのは本当にもったいないよ。俺もまだお試し期間とはいえこのままじゃ給料泥棒みたいで申し訳ないし、何よりせいさんの料理をもっとたくさんの人に食べてほしい。だって食べる人みんなとっても嬉しそうな顔するんだよ。その上美味しかった、ごちそうさま、また来るよって。俺この仕事しててこんな頻繁に言ってもらうの初めてだよ。それってせいさんの料理がそうさせてるんだよ。どうしたの？
いや、お前ちょっと俺の料理好きすぎだろ。
照れてる。なんだそりゃ、可愛すぎか。いやだって本当のことだし。それに俺今料理にどんな日本酒が合うか考えるのすごく楽しいんだ。今までもそういう仕事をしてたはずなのに、やっぱりそれもせいさんの料理があるからだと思うんだよね。
おーい。いたいた。
キヨさんこんにちは。
みーちゃん、ご飯食べてるとこ悪いね。
みーちゃん、いつの間に。
これ桜餅、そろそろ時期終わっちゃうからね。
ありがとうございます。前にもいただいたお店の。
ああ、みーちゃん気に入ってたみたいだから、今度はかしわ餅が出たら持ってきてやるからね。
やった。
キヨさん、 今日は？
ああ、この後ちょっと用事があるから8時頃になるけど頼むよ。今日は天せいろがいいね。何がある？
おすすめはそら豆とホワイトアスパラかな。
おお、いいね。じゃあそれでお願いするよ。
あ、ねえ、キヨさんからも言ってくださいよ。取材受けろって。
まだその話終わってなかったのかい。
お店が繁盛するのはいいことじゃないですか。なのに断るの一点張り。
何度も断ってるのに、そのしつこさはどうなんだ。
そうだね。せいちゃんのお店なんだから、せいちゃんの好きにすればいいとは思うけど。でもやっぱり、お客さんがほとんど来ない日はもったいないとは思うね。
ですよね。せいさんの料理をもっとたくさんの人に食べてもらうには、いい機会だと思うんですよ。
それはあるね。せいちゃんくらいの腕があれば、店ももっと大きくしていいくらいなんだよ。自分の目が届く範囲でというのも大事だけど、みーちゃんをこのまま雇うなら頑張ってもらえるんだし、少しくらいはいいんじゃないのかい？
キヨさんがそう言うなら、一度だけだぞ。
キヨさんが言うならか。俺なんか1週間言い続けたのに。ま、当たり前でしょうけど。せいさん、お風呂すぐ入る？
あ
お、新メニュー？
あ、そろそろ次のシーズンもな。
ああ、今から考えるんだ。1ヶ月以上先でしょ？
まあ毎年大きくは変わらないんだけどな。いくつか新メニューを入れるからそれなりに時間はいる。
初夏の頃だとなんだろう、アスパラとか。
ああ、その頃は北海道のいいのが出る。魚ならアユだな。
アユ大好き。
あとキクラゲ。
キクラゲ？キクラゲに旬ある？
そりゃ生ならあるさ。
生キクラゲって見たことないかも。売ってる？
まあ、あまりその辺のスーパーじゃ売ってないかもな。
どうやって食べるの？中華しかイメージないけど。
だしと薄口醤油とみりんでうま煮にする。きんぴら風とか。
へえ。
キヨさんが好きなんだよな。それもあって毎年何かしら作ってるんだが、割と評判いいぞ。
せいさんとキヨさんってどういう付き合いなの？昔から？
もともとは俺の父親の古い友人だ。母親を早くに亡くしてたし、近所に住むキヨさん夫婦がいつも面倒を見てくれた。へ
え、親代わりだ。せいさんのお父さんはどんな仕事してるの？せいさん？
お前には関係ない。
ごめん。せいさんの背中には踏み込むなと書いてあった。思いのほか強い拒絶。特に仕事に影響はないけど。
お前には関係ない。
俺だけかな、なんとなく気まずいの。せいさん、今から打つの？営業後に珍しい。
そろそろ粉の配合を変えるから試し打ちだ。
へえ、見てていい？
ああ、ついでに試食して感想言ってくれ。2種類打つから。ミスミ？
あ、いや、俺の感想なんて参考になるかなって。
何言ってんだ。参考にならない舌を持ってるやつにうちの酒を任せたりしない。
何それ、ずるくない？そんなに簡単に俺の欲しい言葉をくれるなんて。 昨日は急にあんな態度取ったくせに今日はそういうこと言うんだ。嬉しくなっちゃうじゃん。ねえ、そばっていつの時期が一番美味しいの？やっぱり新そば？
いや、そうとも限らん。うちで言えば時期によってそば粉の割合を変えてる。それに新そばでも風味を立たせるのにあえて古いものを入れたりするんだ。だから言ってみれば通年うまい時期だな。
なるほど。さすが。
やってみるか？
え、いいの？
食べるのはお前だからな。どれだけ太くなってもいいぞ。
なんだと？むしろそうめんにしてやるし。きしめん？
体に力入りすぎだ。ちゃんと均一に力入れろ。包丁は垂直じゃなく少し斜めに入れるつもりで。昨日は悪かったな。いや、言い方が随分剣があったと自分でも思った。
なんだ、聖さんも気にしてくれてたんだ。っていうか体近いです。
いいんじゃないか。
そう、後ろ密着して体温がもろに。落ち着かない。
おい、それわざとか？
それって
尻こすりつけてる。
全然わざとじゃない。
そうなのか。しばらくはしない宣言撤回かと。
継続、絶賛継続中です。聖さん、離れてほしいんだけど。
これくらいいいだろう。本当に弱いんだな。なあ、自分でするときも乳首いじるのか？
何？
じゃなきゃここまで感度よくならないだろう。男なのに。
痛い。やだ、痛いってば、聖さん。
本当に？痛いだけか？なあ、どうだ？
気持ち、乳首気持ちいい。聖さんのも硬くなってる。やばい、これ以上されたら乗っからない自信がない。口でするから、もう。ねえ、まだ。
ああ、もう少し。
やっぱすごい、聖さんの。感じてる。ねえ、顔かける？
好きなのか、そういうの。
聖さんは好きじゃない？
しようと思ったことがない。
そう。じゃあ 俺にしてみて。
出すぞ。
やっぱ飲みたかったかも。
お前そこまでしといて入れられたくないって？
やだ、ダメ、指、ダメ、やだ、指。
ミスミ、いいな。
しないってば言っただろ、継続中って。出てって。
放り出された。継続中ね。一体何をそんなにこだわってんだ？
これ結局流されてる。俺のバカ。
おい、みーちゃん。柏餅持ってきたよ。
ありがとうございます。一緒にどうですか？ちょうど一息つこうと思ってたんです。
おお、そうかい。じゃ、いただこうかね。
煎茶とほうじ茶どっちがいいですか？
ほうじ茶がいいね。
はーい。
ミスミ。
昆布が効いててうまい。でもちょっと塩辛いかな。
だよな。漬け時間長すぎたな。他の野菜とあえて出すか。
あのせいちゃんが他人に味見をね。二人はなかなかいい雰囲気になったね。
そうですか？
みーちゃんもう1ヶ月経ったろ？このまま雇ってもらえることになったのかい？
そうなんです。どうなのせいさん、俺雇ってもらえるの？
なんだ、俺はそのつもりだったが。
何そのつもりって、言ってくれないとそういうことは言わないと。
わかるだろう。来るな出てけと言ったわけでもなし、取材も一緒に受けただろうが。
そりゃそうだけど、そこは経営者としてもさ。
よかったね、みーちゃん。雑誌に載るのももうすぐなんだろ？
はい。いい風に書いてくれるって言ってました。
そうかい、そうかい。これは頑張ってもらわなきゃね、せいちゃん。
そうだね。
そうして、初めてせいさんの店が掲載されたタウン誌が、ついに発売となったのだが。
申し訳ありませんでした。
本にする前に確認で見せていただいたときは、せいさんのお父さんのことは一切触れてませんでしたよね。
はい。実は立野川さんのお父様がフレンチの立野川シェフだと知った編集長が考慮直前に内容を差し替えてしまって、本当に了承もなく申し訳ありません。
編集長がというが、あんたは気づいてただろう。あいつが俺の父親だって。
それは確かにもしかしてと思いましたし、後日確認もしました。でも私は自分でこちらのお料理をいただいて取材すると決めたので、そのことを書くつもりはありませんでした。
どうだかな。
ちょっとせいさん。
まあ、せいちゃん、その辺にしといてあげなよ。俺にはこのお嬢さんが嘘をついてるようには見えないよ。なあ、あんた、 聖ちゃんのそばを気に入ってくれたんだろ？
はい。特にそばがきが忘れられなくて。
わかった。あんたの謝罪は受け入れる。が、もう二度とこういった取材は受けない。いいな、ミスミ。
はい。
それじゃあ、私はこれで。
はい。わざわざすみません。
本当にすみませんでした。私が紹介なんかしたから。
いや、俺も大人げなかった。気にしないでくれ。そもそもは、そいつがいろいろ言ったんだろ？
ごめんなさい。
まあまあ、聖ちゃん、もう諦めな。悪いね。この子は父親のことになると途端にこうでね。折り合いが悪いんだよ。
子って。そういえば、キヨさん。この後用事あるんじゃなかったっけ？
ああ、そうだったそうだった。悪いね。いつも閉店前に寄らせてもらって。
じゃあ私もこれで。食べに来るの楽しみにしてたのに来づらくなっちゃったな。
大丈夫だよ。聖さんも気にするなって言ってたし、後からぐちぐち言う人じゃないから。
ならいいけど。
さて、これ片付けたらちょっと坂入り酒店行ってくるね。
ああ。
マリエちゃん、近いうちにこの店に食べに来るの楽しみにしてたんだ。今度お客さんとして連れてきてもいいよね。
ああ、もちろん。
よかった。
ずいぶん仲いいんだな。
そうだね。高校からの付き合いだし、いろいろ助けてもらってる。宿なしになった時も泊めてもらってたし。
泊まってた？彼女の家にか？女の家に男が。
そういう心配する？俺がゲイだって知ってるくせにさ。それに彼女、今度結婚するんだからね。その相手も俺の親友だし。
ああ、そうなのか。
ったく、俺がマリエちゃんに何かするわけないだろ。
悪い。
でも俺もごめんなさい。俺が余計なことしたから、聖さんにも嫌な思いさせちゃって。
俺の個人的な事情でもあるし、それはもういい。こんなことになるとは思ってなかったから、俺もついあんな態度になった。悪かった。
聖さんのお父さんが、立野川シェフだなんて知らなかった。
この業界でこの名字なんだから、気づいてもいいと思うんだがな。
そうかな。全然繋がらなかった。だって、俺が好きになったのは聖さんの料理だし。そしたら、お父さんがどうとか関係ないよ。でも、少し前に変な雰囲気になったのも、お父さんのことが原因だし、やっぱり話題には出さない方がいいんだろうな。こちら、ズッキーニとオクラを焼いたものと穴子の串焼き、切り干し大根を梅干しで和えたものと、トウモロコシのすり流し、キュウリとナスのサゴハチ漬けです。ズッキーニとオクラは軽く塩を振ってますので、そのままどうぞ。
美味しそう。
消化だね。ズッキーニ初物だ。うまいな。ズッキーニこんなに味するっけ？
ねえちょっと、トウモロコシのすり流しすごく美味しい。すごくトウモロコシ。
お酒が進むものばかりですよ。試したい日本酒がありましたら、お気軽におっしゃってくださいね。キヨさん、お酒は？
ああ、まだ大丈夫だよ。忙しいだろう。俺は勝手にやってるからいいよ。
すみません。 平日の夜も埋まり始めて。ありがたいですけど、忙しいのにも早く慣れないとですね。
キヨさん、この前は悪かったね。来てくれたのに入れなくて。
いやはや、雑誌の効果ってやつはすごいね。聖ちゃんのそばがたくさんの人に食べてもらえるのはいいことだよ。頑張って。
ありがとうございます。
ねえねえ、大将はあの立野川シェフの息子なんだろ？
ええ、まあ。
うわぁ、今日もそれか。タウン誌見て来てくれたお客さん、よく話題に出すんだよな。
なんで同じフレンチに進まなかったの？やっぱり勝てないから？
失礼しました。そんなこと聞く？
私にはこっちの方が合っていただけなんですよ。
おー、まあすごく美味しいもんね。つまみもそばも。
ありがとうございます。
今日も疲れた。タウン誌に乗って半月か。たった一度でこれだもんな。もともとのキャパがないんだから、ほんと余計なこと考えるのやめよう。あのお客さんに悪気はなかったみたいだけど、結局聖さんにも嫌な思いさせちゃってるし。まあ、頑張るしかないか。
お、なんだ入ってたのか。悪い。
いいえ。ちょっとなんで出てかない？
いや、もうそろそろしばらくしないが無効になる頃じゃないかと。
またそういう。俺のしばらくはもっと先です。
お前なんで始めるとあんなになるくせにそんな身持ちの固い処女みたいなこと言うんだ。
少女言うな。あんなってどんなんだよ。ダメだ、気持ちいい。やだ。
なあ、いいだろ。
もう、聖さん、ちょっと我慢できないの？
仕方ないだろう。むしろ癖にさせといて、もっと責任取れと言いたいくらいなんだが。
癖になっちゃったの？
ああ、たまにお前で抜いてる。
聖さんいくつだっけ？っていうか奥さんと別れて今までどうしてたんだよ。
いや、それを言われるとあれなんだが、以前はこんなにガツガツしてなかったんだ。嫁とも回数多いわけじゃなかったし、適当に抜いてた。生活の比重がほぼ仕事に行ってたし、それで十分だったからな。
嘘でしょ？
嘘じゃないから困ってんだろうが。なんつうか、お前とするとやたらいいっていうか、頭がバカになるっていうか、何がどうなってるのか知りたくなるってか。
何がどうって。
いや、うまいもの食べたら何使ってるのか、材料から調味料から産地レベルで知りたくなるだろ。そしてそれをどう料理するのか。俺ならもっとうまくできるとか。
やだ。鳴らしてから。
鳴らせばいいんだな。
違う。やだ、まだ待って。
ああ、悪い。早く入れたくて焦った。
そんなこと言われたら可愛いとか思っちゃうだろ。強い。そんなにそこグリグリしないで。
なんでいいんだろ。すげえ垂らしてるぞ。
ダメ。
気持ちいいなら気持ちいいって言え。
いい。気持ちいい。やだ。気持ちいい。やだ。
溢れてくるな。
出ちゃう。出していい？ねえ、出していい？
ダメだ。入れるのが先。我慢しろ。
やだ。やだ。早く入れて。
すっげえ。おい、大丈夫か？ほら、入ってるぞ。わかるか？
すごい大きいのがドクドクいってる。大きくなった。
黙れ。持たなくなる。動くぞ。風呂沸かし直してくるから待ってろ。
すごかった。何回出されたんだろう。セックスした後こんな風に満たされるなんて久しぶり。っていうか初めて。あれ、なんでしないなんて言ってたんだっけ。いらっしゃいませ。ご予約はいただいてますか？
いや、してないんだけど。
すみません。今日は予約で埋まってしまってまして。
ミスミだよな。え久しぶり。ミスミ。
ゆずる。
Situations where I need to use like a lot of brain power to solve the problem I have. And then I can like work on it for hours. I don't get tired. I don't lose focus or anything. I don't get just sort of in this like sad like I can't do stuff right state, but I maintain like focus to the point where I can actually do like high quality work. It's also one of those states where I am very irritated if people are sort of like disrupting my workflow. And I'm definitely more tense, but I also essentially have like it feels like an endless pool of energy. Like I could keep going for like 20 more hours. And I don't feel like really energized. I just feel like there's no restrictions anymore. Like there's no safety exit anymore. There's no safety precautions anymore. So I can go basically until I pass out and I don't have this like, oh, I'm tired warning system before anymore. Which this state in some situations is like really helpful, right? So when we, for example, like had to plan our moving situation to the Netherlands within like 3 or 4 days, like I did that and it worked out perfectly. And when we had to like renovate this apartment within a month and then like also move in within that month and had like this like, well, this time constriction, but also like a financial constriction for like the interior and renovating process and all of that. I did that and it worked. So this state is leading me to results in positions of which like in situations which are going to be stressed. It's also a state which is negative, right? Like after I have done something like this, I usually feel sick. Like, yeah, like I just have like the flu or something like this. Because I don't eat properly within those states. I don't drink properly. It's just feeling irritated the entire time is exhausting. So like after this, I sort of like I have one of those like burnouts essentially. And then there's like I guess like the normal state in between or something like this. And then there's the Zen state where it's like I feel really, really relaxed and really at peace with myself. I like myself. I'm happy with how I look. Like I think I'm pretty without makeup and without anything. I'm not stressed. I don't stress about things as easily. Like I don't mind a change of plan. I'm fairly spontaneous. I have way more patience with people and with situations if things go wrong and with everything in general. I feel like I have more fun. I feel like I know what I want to do. I don't feel as self-conscious. It's like, I don't know, like if people don't like me, I'm not as like bothered by it or anything. I'm just like, well, not everybody's gonna like me, and that's just how life is, sort of. And it's like, I don't know, like life seems easy. And it is definitely one of those states where I don't get as much work done as in other states. And where like things are like I push things away. It's not necessarily like pushing them away like infinitely or something, but it's more like if I didn't have time for it on this day and I just don't want to stress, so I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Then I don't have time tomorrow. Well, I'm not gonna stress. I'm gonna do it the next day after. Like I'm not doing night shifts. I'm not neglecting my fun in the moment for getting something done for the future. And I sort of low-key, I was like, yeah, I was low-key scared of this state at some point in my life, actually. Because I felt like, oh no, I'm like lazy. I'm way too optimistic. I'm like unrealistic. I won't prepare myself for the harsh life. And like all of those things. But nowadays I really like it. Because I think it's healthy. I think it's a healthy state and it's a happy state. And even if I won't become like a CEO in that state, I will have led a happy life and don't really regret anything, I think. It's also one of those states where I'm a really good friend because I'm really compassionate and empathetic, understanding, patient. It's also one of those states where I'm a really good partner because I'm really like caring and sort of like loving. I don't know, I make more gifts. I'm more generous, sort of. I'm like all of those things. I'm just more of a person like I really like. And that's why I sort of strive to be in the Zen state more often, or like I guess as much as I can, but I do still like with, for example, like the mental health streams, or if I do have like a plan in that regard, like I just sometimes I do push into the work state to like get something done. So it's sort of like a balancing act, I guess. But the more time I sort of spend in that state, the more I'm able to like make it bigger. And the more I'm able to also like work within that state. Because it's just like a healthy amount of work.
Ah,
Um and so long story short, because oh my god, I was going on for ages. I like there's these different states I recognize about myself. And I for myself chose that this like Zen state, how I call it, is a state where I want to be more often in, and I don't want to be in that stress state because I feel like it's unhealthy and I'm not a person I really like because I'm not patient with friends or my partner, and I'm like more irritated. I'm also more negative. I think more negative about the world. And even though it's like giving me results sometimes and it's necessary sometimes, it's just something I feel like whenever I sort of like look back on a day, the day means more to me and seems more fulfilling when I have been in the Zen state instead of the working state. And that's why I want to be in the Zen state. And I reckon,
yeah, I get you. Uh, the thing is just like like the general working conditions, as I said, are probably pretty good. Besides the circumstance that I have to go to the office because like they initially told me, yeah, you can get home office, and now then afterwards they said, yeah, you get home office after 6 months, you can get home office, and like they tried to get it earlier for me, at least they claim to, and like the big boss of the, like not the big boss, the boss of my bosses, she was like kind of pissed because like as far as I understood, they basically kind of went behind her back once regarding the home office regulations. So now she just like on principle said no, regardless whether it would be like beneficial for my work, which it would be if I would have like a home office job, or at least partially in home office, because like I said that I would come to work, that I would stay there for 4 hours, but that I won't do anything at the evening then. Like I told him, okay, look, there are some days where I would work 4 hours, but I won't do that like in one part, right? I would want to have like I would want to work 4 hours from 7 to 11, then I would be at home at like 12, then I would take like a break for 2, 3, maybe 4 hours, right? And then maybe work a bit more. And like, I think that's reasonable, but I would require home office for that, right? They didn't give it to me, and then I said, yeah, okay, but like then I'm not going to work as much, right? That's
yeah.
like, yeah, well, and I was like, okay. And then I talked to other students who were there longer, and they said like it's a real struggle to get home office, even if you are there longer than those 6 months.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I kind of don't expect that for the rare case that they would give me another contract, that they actually would provide me with home office. I just kind of thought that. And like, if I had home office, then I would probably have worked those 2 weeks I was missing, right? Because like I can get shit done from home. The issue is that I can't like call therapists from work,
Yeah.
right? And if you have like home office, you can just say, okay, look, I will call from there. I will write down that I worked from, I don't know, 8 to 12. And I kind of track how often I called, and if I have like spent a significant amount on calling during those times, then I would just like add another hour without writing it down, right? That's something you could do, but since therapists are very uncooperative regarding their phone times and don't want to give out their email address, you often have to take a day off just to call someone, right? Because like
That's interesting. I actually, of my
yeah,
therapist, I even have like a phone number, like email, phone number.
yeah, I mean maybe they give it to you, but at least where I'm from in Germany, most of the therapists don't give out an email address.
Mm.
I mean maybe if you have them or maybe they give you an email address so that you can have contact once you are a patient.
Yeah, it's
But
definitely like
often they
I'm a
don't.
patient now.
Yeah, but often they don't like say, oh yeah, here's my email address for contact, because then they get a shitload of email addresses they don't want to answer.
Yeah.
And since they usually work on their own and don't have like a secretary or something like that, they have to do the phone times, the call times on their own. So they can't really say, okay, I would just do like 1 hour each day because that's basically time they won't make money, right?
Yeah.
And then again, since most people, even those who are in therapy, work somehow, they don't really want to put the phone time somewhere where patients want to see them, which usually is like after midday,
Yeah.
right? So in my experience, a lot of them have phone times somewhere between 8 and 12 a.m.
Mm.
Which is a bit unfortunate if you have to work from 7 to 11 and then have to commute home and won't be there before 12, and which was why I said, okay, I need a week. And like it didn't help me, like it basically was wasted time because I didn't get any result out of it, but it's like I had to try.
Yeah.
If I would have had home office, I probably would have worked in this time, especially with the broken rib, because like if I'm sitting
How does
in
this
front of my
necessarily attach to the Zen and work mode?
Well, it I mean, okay, so I don't really know how to switch between those modes.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
But you recognize both in yourself, sort of.
I mean, I would call it work or sloth mode. um, for me personally, not for you.
I mean, do you then even want to be more in the sloth mode? Or is it not something you really like to be in?
I mean, it's like good for a week or something. Like if you just like you need a timeout, and like I can tell you probably the like in most cases you won't work between the years, right?
Yeah.
At least in my work life, usually like they said, okay, look, please take your holidays between the years. We can't force you, but we highly
Yeah.
suggest doing so because everyone else will be on leave, and we would really appreciate if you do that. So that's usually my sloth mode time because I won't get shit done in this time. Like seriously, I won't get shit done. I would do the absolute bare minimum that's necessary, like I don't know, washing my laundry, cleaning the dishes, stuff like that. But I won't do anything productive, which is a great time for that because the majority of people won't do anything productive either during that time. So usually there's like you don't really get any business letters or something like, right? Like
Yeah.
my insurance usually won't be very active during that time. They rather like you might get something, but if it's not getting done at this specific time, either you get it beforehand and then you just like didn't keep up with what you were doing, which is why it falls in this exact same period, or you get it like sometimes later, right?
Yeah.
So that's at this time it's not worse, not too bad. What's an issue is if I'm like in the sloth mode, it's like I feel like it's getting harder and harder to return to the work mode
Mm.
for me personally. So because like I mean not doing anything, like I mean I like for instance like cleaning your apartment, right?
Yeah.
Just as an example. Like I do that on a regular basis, as probably most people.
Yeah.
And if I miss it for whatever reason, like maybe I just like I don't know, I usually do it on the weekend, and maybe I just had a particularly busy weekend, and for some reason I just missed it. Then it basically gets harder to do it the next time if I
Mm.
don't do it basically right away, right? Because then it's like, oh yeah, okay, I missed it last time. It's not too bad. Like I would just do it next time, and the next time I maybe don't. Maybe I just don't feel like cleaning, right? And then it's like, yeah, I would do it next time. And for me personally, if I say like I would do it later, the possibility that I won't do it later, but way later, is increasing, right? So
Yeah.
if I kind of have this rhythm, like I go to work, that's like okay. If I'm off for 2 weeks, then it's really hard for me to return to work.
Mm.
Like it's getting really hard to stand up, and like I didn't sleep any longer during that time, not really.
Yeah.
Like maybe a little bit, but like I still got up somewhere between 5 and 6 because that's like kind of my sleeping rhythm. But I didn't do anything that was like really productive. So I usually it was just like, I mean, I had pain, so I didn't really move too much. I was laying in the bed and watching something on Netflix or Twitch or something like that. And then it got really hard the next week to just get up out of bed. You know what I mean? Like I'm not.
What do you want to
not
change about these modes? Like, would you like them to be different? Would you like to feel different on a daily basis?
I don't know. Like
Are
yeah,
you
I don't know.
content with how it is right now? Is that's
I mean, at the
the
moment,
life you want to
I'm
live,
not really
or?
content, but that's like not, from my perspective, a me issue, but rather an issue from the outside. I mean, I'm okay. Generally speaking, no, I'm not content with myself. If I would be content with myself, I wouldn't have to go through that whole trans topic, I guess. But that's like probably the only reason why I'm not content with myself. I feel like those modes, they're like I don't know, from your experience, do you sometimes have the issue? Because I have like I'm pretty quick with the black and white dualism
Mm.
with basically everything, like that it's like on or off for me.
Yeah.
So that kind of I mean, basically with the sloth or work mode, it's basically the same, right? Either I do something or I don't.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I want to change anything about that, because that's like, I mean, it can be annoying, but it usually is no problem if I'm in a decent mental state, then I can like get myself out of sloth mode without any problems. If I have an autistic burnout, then it's something different. When like
If it
the things that I
helps,
would
I
want
can
to
just tell you
change.
the goals I have
Oh yeah, sure.
or I had. Like maybe that's giving you sort of like an idea in which direction my question is raised. So there's been like different goals throughout therapy, like a lot of them actually. Like I didn't come there with no list, you know. I definitely had like a big laundry list of things I wanted to like get better at. Right now I have yeah, I'm just gonna start with the thing which is like easiest for me to articulate. So one of the things I want to change right now is that social interaction can be quite taxing or draining to me. And this is for like multiple different reasons. It's sort of connected to like hyper awareness and also connected to like the just like social anxiety in general, like the anxiety that people just are sort of like hiddenly like judging me without me giving the chance to, for example, like correct them in like their assumptions about me. And that leads me into this like hyper awareness of like trying to notice how they think about me to then be able to intervene if they took something I said not in a way where I wanted them to interpret it.
Mhm.
And this is just sort of like it's also combined with like a I don't know, like a high resistance of myself to sort of like ask for support and like take up my space. Because for example, like technically, like you're friends with a person, like in like if you're friends with a person, you're friends with that person in like any scenario. But I oftentimes feel the pressure that if I meet up with friends, I would need to be sort of like on my best behavior and be like funny and outgoing and confident and all of this. If I then feel like a little bit down on a day, it's like sort of like I feel a resistance to like still take part in the meetup because I'm like, oh, but I'm not gonna be as fun, and then they won't like me, stuff like this. And then also just sort of like taking up my space in social rooms so that, for example, I voice when I don't like something, or I voice when like this sort of like has been enough and I want to go home now or something like this. Because I don't know, like I really don't want people to believe I reject them or anything. So it's like really hard for me to like sort of just be like, okay, like thank you for your time, but see ya next time. I'm gonna go now. And like it's like a combination of like many different things. But in essence, it's just the issue that whenever I'm in social situations, it takes a lot of energy. And that's why I don't spend too much time of my week in social situations because I don't have energy for it. And that's also why I don't really like huge crowds and stuff like this, because they're like then it also like comes together with like the stimuli and stuff like this. And also sort of like making space for my, I guess, like special needs or my unique individual needs. For example, I have like a funnily weird resistance to wearing like earplugs in crowds, where like I should just do it because I'm sensitive to sound and this sort of like stimuli. But I have like this weird resistance of like being different, and I don't know, like even though like this is not taking away from like anybody or like it's not really like it's not taking space from other people. It's just there's like this empty box and I'm like hiding in the corner with my needs, sort of. instead of just like taking the box, like nobody's using it, nobody has any advantage of me not wearing earplugs. Like it's really like there's nothing to gain, or like nobody's gaining anything from me not taking that space, but I still have like a huge resistance to taking that space because I sort of like don't want to see that I'm like different or needed. And I guess there's like definitely some sort of like judgment attached to that as well, that, or like if you need that, then you're like a special needs kind of person and then like weak or whatever. And there's like a lot of hidden stories around this, but yeah. So that's like the goal I have, is like have social situations take less energy, be less draining of energy, just so that I can like spend more time with people without feeling drained. And I think it's also going to put me in a position where I can, for example, be in that Zen mode way more often, because usually how the work and stress mode starts is by me not having enough energy or like feeling drained and like getting to full capacity, sort of. Because if I'm in that Zen mode, I have a lot of puffer. Like if stuff happens, it happens. Like I have the puffer to like handle it no matter what. And if I'm in the work mode, I'm like at full capacity. And that's sort of why I then am like irritated and stuff like this, and why I like push over my boundaries and sort of neglect my own body. So social situations, less energy. That would be nice, because then I can do more of the things I want to do. Like I for example, could do more of these streams maybe. I could meet up with friends more. I could maybe go to a concert or to like a bigger sort of event with like more people more often. And like I could just do like more of the things I like to do. Then there's the second thing, which sort of like, especially back then, was a bigger thing, but now we sort of like, it's basically a done deal. It's like it's not like a done deal. Like I'm still like in progress. Like everything is a progress, right? You're never going to be like actually done with something, I think. But you just get better and better and better at it. So it's not something we like actively talk in therapy anymore about. But it's more of those things like we talked about it, I got it, and now I just need to like continuously do it. And that's like, for example, being more in that Zen mode. Like that was also one of those like goals, which then to me was sort of like trying to figure out, okay, like what is that Zen mode, and trying to figure out, okay, like how do I what does it have to do with stuff like this, and just spend more time in that mode. The next thing was just being less anxious, being like having less negative emotions in general, I guess, or like not really having less negative emotions, but being less bothered by stuff that happens. So back then, for example, I really like, if some type of situation happened, and these can be like really different for like different people, and like also for me they can be like really different, but for example, one of the things was we were like selling the couch which was standing here before, and the people who bought it did like a whole freaking theatrics show of essentially like back up here telling us they're gonna like pay the money, no issue, like they're fine with everything. And then like down like at the door, basically, when they were already like zipping up the couch on their like whole pulley thingy, whatever. Then we're like, oh, like we want like we want to pay less money, like this is too expensive, like we give our stuff away for free, stuff like this. And like everything in Dutch, like they never switched to English, so like it was really stressful to like understand, and also to like stand up for yourself in that moment, because like it's Dutch, foreign language. I'm really bad at it. Zach is also not the best at it, and they spoke like especially sort of like fast and stuff like this. And also like the couch was already like on that pulley thingy, right? Like they could literally just like leave, and we didn't have the money yet. And so like high stress situation, really shitty move of them, like absolutely dick behavior. Definitely not the first time of doing this, for sure. Oh my god, their roles have been like perfection. Like Jesus Christ. Hate such people. But we didn't know it beforehand, so whatever happens sometimes, right? Like sometimes you come across dick people. But anyways, so that situation happened, and especially back in the day, one of those situations would haunt me. Like it would literally like in that moment itself, I would get a near panic attack, and then later on it would absolutely haunt me for days, like for up to a week, really actively, and then still ongoing. Like these emotions I had from that situations would literally like just not really resolve. They would just be there. Like I would be like really pissed still. I would feel angry. I would feel anxious. I would feel sort of like also anxious of the entire country now. Like, oh, the Netherlands are not like that good of a country as I thought because there's people like this, even though it was only this one situation. And it would
Yeah.
really like influence me and like pull me down for like days. Where I felt like this is something like I don't want. Like I don't want to be influenced by something like this for days, because stuff like this happens. Like this is not something like things going wrong to this sort of extent is not something which is like rare. Like then like like one day of this like, and then the whole week is like shit, and then next week somebody is like honking at me in the roundabout where I was driving right and they just still honked at me. And I got like super scared in that moment, and then like this situation was also haunting me for a week. And like, where does it end? Like it's week after week of like shit situations. Like my life feels miserable. So
Yeah.
that was like one of those goals. Okay, I just want to feel like less miserable, because I noticed when friends were with me in that situation, for example, Zach as well, it was like they were of course also like maybe scared or pissed, but it was like an hour later and they have never thought back about it. Like not even an hour, like something like honking at like being honked at by a car was like, I don't know, like 5 minutes of like that asshole. Like what is he thinking? Like he doesn't even like know how to drive, and like he should like do his driver's license again and like stuff like that. And like 5 minutes of this and then it was over. Then it was like, yeah, well, whatever,
Yeah.
like let's focus on like what we actually wanted to do, like how we actually
Yeah,
wanted
we
to
kind
spend
of
the day.
cling to that thing that bothers us.
Yeah, exactly. And this was
Yeah, I
like
get
something
that.
where I
I
feel
get that.
like,
Like,
okay, like this needed to change, because it's
honestly,
yeah.
so one quick heads up. I have to go in 5 minutes,
Oh damn. Okay,
which is a bit sad, but can't really change it. I'm sorry.
it's fine.
But regarding this, like, I have this with like minor things. Like it doesn't really have to be like a big thing. It can be that someone was like just an asshole, and I would be, oh my gosh, that's such an asshole for the next week or something.
Yeah. And so these are like some of the goals I sort of made with therapy. Like this is like, it's essentially just goals how I want to change my life and how I want it to look differently. These
Yeah,
are
I mean,
not
I have.
these are not
Sorry.
goals which are like about my situation, because it's like all of these goals are like sort of like independent of the situation, because I know like there's gonna be like more shitty situations in my life. Like at some point, like my parents gonna die. At some point, like I don't know, like some person close to me is gonna have an accident where I might fear for their life, whatever. At some point, like there's gonna be like more bad news from America or like all over the world, and like all of this stuff. Like there's enough negativity in the world and in our lives to sort of like to have a shitty life if you can't cope with this or if you can't get over it. So these are like sort of like all of the goals I had, which are essentially not asking for like a reality change, but asking for like me to be able to handle life in general better and have more of like the life I want to have. So more Zen mode, being able to like do the social situations I like, being less stuck to like negative emotions. Like, so I'm able to like do all of the things I want to do and interact with the world we have right now, because the world we have right now is fairly negative. And in order for me to be able to, I don't know, like use social media or like watch movies, meet with friends, go outside, watch the news, like, I don't know, like all the things you just like on a daily basis sort of like do. It's like I wanted to like result in different outcomes. And I think this is like maybe what, like, this is sort of what I wanted to like get to. Well, now we don't really have time for this anymore, which is sad. But the point I was sort of trying to make, that these things are things you can like train on your own and like independent of the situation. But it is like changing something. So when you told me like, well, like so many like negative things happening in the past couple of weeks, and you didn't really like regulate or like get to base level or anything, you just like sort of kept going. Like your life right now could look different even though the situation would be the same. Like all the negative news from like outside could be the same, but you could probably still like feel better, you know? If you make some adjustments and sort of like find a good way to yeah, change the outcome. And
yeah, well, maybe not. I don't know. For some part, I would strongly disagree with you. For some part, I would probably agree with you on certain terms, but I don't know. It's just like I don't know, the whole thing about the trans topic isn't really something with, and I don't expect you to
I mean, not everything.
100% my position there.
No, I don't
it's
mean
just
like everything, of course.
Yeah.
You know, like your life will not, I mean that the trans topic is definitely influencing you for sure, you know? For sure.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that
The-
you're not, for example, like sad or like mad that like this job turned out this way, but I just mean that it could be different in a way, like how long this stuff is influencing you or how heavy it's influencing you, and how, for example, like isolated you feel and stuff like this. You know?
I mean, it will influence me until I have a contract or I have a new job.
But the amount it influences you could be different.
Okay.
You know?
I mean, yeah. Well, I guess that's kind of up to definition. In which regard it should influence me. I mean, probably you could even argue that it should influence me more because that's like that's like literally seriously tied to my quality of life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I sadly have to go.
Maybe we
it's
can talk
been-
about this a little more next time.
Yeah, probably. Well, when are you going to stream again?
Thursday.
Thursday.
So it's, yeah, just every Monday and Thursday at 12.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
far, I think I'm able to maintain that schedule for the closer future. Like
Okay,
next
well
week
then-
on Mondays was about to be something, but I think I'm dodging it.
Okay.
But yeah. So
Alrighty. Then maybe until next Thursday.
Yes.
Bye bye.
see you. Bye. Hi Nadim. How you doing? Welcome. Hi, Fluffy. How you doing as well? Welcome, welcome, everybody. We just did a mental health check-in with Pandas. But Pandas has to go now. It's on a schedule. This is sort of like what we did today. Like, yeah. Yes, we talked about more bad news about work, and we talked a little bit about, I guess, like autism, and therapy goals, and about sort of how, like, I guess the autistic experience of day-to-day life and coping, how, to me, there's, for example, like different modes I sort of operate in. So, yeah, that's sort of the topic we left off with. Yeah. But how are you guys doing? How's your day so far? How's your week so far? And Pandas, have a great day now. Good luck with whatever you have to do. And see you next time. I will get myself a glass of water for a second. I'll see you in a minute. Going I think Panda's probably gone. Don't know if he's like still in chat. But he told me he has to go. So don't worry if he's not answering. So, alright. Uni started again and it's stressful to get the new timings drilled in. work sucks at the moment, and just yesterday I teach somebody to read. Oh, damn. Okay. I don't know. Kind of weird how life is. Definitely a lot of things going on now.